the Old Testament reading, with the fiery snakes and the pole and bronze snake that was on that pole, as far as nip it in the bud. And also, when they were traveling and Israel committed idolatrous and immoral act with the Moabites, God killed 24,000. Moabites. What immediately comes to mind when you hear that name or word Moabite? That was a country. Yeah. And what it is that we're going to read about it. What woman is in the lineage of Jesus? Ruth. Remember when Elimelech and Naomi, the famine in the land during the time of Judges, they decided to go to Moab. And their two sons married Moabite women. The sons died. Elimelech, Naomi's husband died. And they came back, and I'm not going to go into any more detail, because we're going to be picking up in Ruth. And that's an interesting book. It's got tremendous overtones. We'll talk about that then. Just know that it took place, that the book of Ruth took place during the period of the Judges, and after we finish with Deuteronomy, that's the book we're going to be getting into. So you might want to keep that in mind. But here, obviously 24,000, nip it in the bud, and God did it. Then Phinehas the priest took quick action against two sinners and killed them before the people. And the attack on Midian, and obviously Balaam, and his prophecies. And so basically what we have read is that God is saying, nip it in the bud. We're not going to let it fester and go. Because you see, during our reading this week, the 40 years of wandering in the wilderness have passed. Not a lot is said about it, but it's now those 20 years and up died. So now we've got from back then, 19-year-olds before. They have now become adults. And they are now on the east side of the Jordan River. Here, think in terms of when you picture Israel, you can just do this very simply, okay? I had props that just drew some lines, but it made sense. Mediterranean Sea, okay? Israel, Jordan River. And now we've got some tribes on the other side of the Jordan. 2.5 tribes, Reuben and Gad and half tribe of Manasseh. See, as they were moving toward, they ran into, obviously, the Edom. They went around that. That's the descendants of Esau. The Arab, they conquered them. The Amorites, they conquered. The Midianites, they conquered. And then, in other words, they now had some land. And Reuben and Gad and half the tribe of Manasseh said, hey, this land is really good. We've got a lot of livestock and cattle and then animals. This would really be good. Can we have this as our part of our land, part of our lot? Moses took it to God. God said yes. And so they settled in there with the provision that the men 20 years and above would join all the other men 20 years and above as they in crossing the Jordan, so that they can conquer all those nations that live on the west side of the Jordan. Okay? And so they, and that's where we're at now. Getting ready to do that. God says, okay, let's take a census again so we know exactly who, so that once we see how big each tribe is, with the allotment of the land for that tribe can take place. And again, we'll get into that, especially when we get into Joshua. And so, I know, and then we've got, who did God say you can't enter into the promised land? Moses. Why? Because he took matters into his own hands. Remember, the people were complaining, no water, no water, no water, and God said, put your hand on the rock, and water will come out. Well, his emotions got more than Moses. You know, the people's griping and belly aching and all of that kind of thing. And God says, no, now it looks like you did the job. Instead of putting your hand on it, people know I did it. Okay? You know, and so God says, Moses, for that you're not going to be able to physically go in. You can stand on this mountain and you can see everything in the promised land and so on. Okay? And obviously, God did not want Aaron to go in either, and so he dies, and his son Eliezer becomes high priest, and that's so. Okay, you know, so basically that's where we're at. Again, God always trying to help them see, I've made a covenant with you. I will bless you. And time again, I've shown how I'll bless you. These miraculous events, you know, and winning these wars over these nations. And we're going to see that again as we see in Joshua as far as conquering that other side of Israel. But what you need to do, obey me. Live in what I have given you. You are my people. In fact, next week we're going to be picking that up even more. You are my people. God has started looking at it. This is a marriage. You are the bride. I am the bridegroom. If you come into idolatry, it's like you are committing adultery. And we'll talk more and more about that next week. I say that because I want you to see that what God is saying to these people. And obviously, it's God saying the same thing to us. We are the new Israel. Okay? Not confined to any border, not confined in that, obviously, the ceremonial laws don't apply to us. Our worship in that is different because it's centered now in Jesus Christ. All that, we're pointing the finger to Jesus. But we live under that same covenant. You know, think in terms of what in the upper room. I'm giving you a new testament. What's another word for testament? Covenant. My body given. My blood shed for you. Live in that. Believe in that. Don't let other things enter into taking you away from me. When other answers fail and fall. Remember? As we saw in church today. Okay? So we can sort of just close it out there. And if there are any questions or any thoughts or ideas that you have, I'm certainly very open to that. We want to do that. Anything? Okay. Obviously, we're in Deuteronomy. We'll be picking that up more. In fact, next week, everything has to do with Deuteronomy. The second giving of the law. Think in terms of this. If you read through Deuteronomy, when Moses gave the law, God giving to Moses and Moses giving to the people, those were the people that died in the wilderness. So we have all these youngsters who are now grown up. So before they go into the promised land, Moses needs to reiterate again. What is this covenant and what's this covenant all about? And helping these people understand that here it is, folks. And so that's what we're going to be reading this week, and we'll talk more about it next week, okay? So with that in mind, let's just close with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, as always, we just thank and praise you for who you are and what we have in you. Yeah, Lord, sometimes we fail and fall. You know that as well as we do. But Lord, we always come to you. Admit our guilt, admit our sin. But here again, your word is love and forgiveness. Contrite, broken spirit, I will not cast away. And so with that joy in our hearts and in our minds, we go forth this day to serve you. In Jesus we pray, and God will say, well, amen. Hey, God bless and God be with you, okay?